But let me change subjects now. So that's enough about pink gin. I want to share with you a couple of little martini recipes, and I've got a little library of books here. And this is staying bloody English people. Seriously. Alice Lascelles, I think she wrote Financial Times in London. Wrote this beautifully produced book. It's back to front, I don't know. Sort of book I kind of wish I'd written, but anyway, I was too late to the party. And she's done a really beautiful job. It's a very elegant book, perfectly, but also a lot of really good recipes, contemporary recipes, in the book. And you may have heard the expression of a direct martini. In fact, there's an Instagram account just on that. And what is a direct martini? Well, it's not complicated, really. It's a whole bunch of frozen gin, not much else. Right to the point. Apparently, I've not had the pleasure myself. Harry's Bar in the Venice, the real deal, not the, Harry's Bar in Venice. Always want to go there. There's a Harry's Bar in Paris, which I have been to, apparently the birthplace of Bloody Mary, which is amazing. Amazing. And the more you buy, the more they give you. It's great. Uber civilized. Quite a good martinis. Anyway, in Harry's Bar in Venice, they serve there, I don't have a prop to hand, their martinis. You ask for a martini. Remember, it's Italy, so it's not martini, as in Cinzano, as in vermouth. It's martini cocktail. If you get that, you get in a shot glass, true story, in a little shot glass. It's basically, I think it's frozen Tanqueray with a little veneer of vermouth on top. Allura. There you go. Down the hatch. Anyway, in this lovely book by Alice Lascelles, that's Lascelles, bit hard to get here in Australia anyway. So she's quoting Duke's, which is a very famous bar in Mayfair. I'm sure you probably all heard about it. So basically the recipe is simple as this. It's 120 mils of frozen gin or vodka. Oh, sorry, 120 mils. And a few drops of vermouth. Like, bip, bip, bip. And that's it. The rule there is you can have 3 martinis and they time to go. I won't serve anymore, which is pretty fair. It's half a bottle. The other thing I've got for you is a book I discovered years ago, and I've had a chat every so often on Instagram with a writer out of New York, Robin Summerson, who writes for New York Times and other places. There's an app you can buy too. So he did another beautiful book called The Martini Cocktail, which I really recommend. Goes into history of the martini very nicely, and even during lockdown there was a famous summit in Queensland, I'm going to mention next. I thought was dead. He's still alive, bless him. Talking about the martini, and it was like one of those things. You ever in lockdown, you did everything online, of course. And I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and watched it and asked a question, and anyway, that's great. Anyway, so in his book, Martini Cocktail by Robert Simonson, out of New York City. Actually, he's Brooklyner. He's a very proud Brooklyner, I should point out. So, just to be clear, if you're watching Robert. So he's quoting a recipe from 1922, and he does an app you can buy, and you can pick the year and get a martini recipe. It's great. So this is from Harry's. So Harry, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. McKellone, it's an Irish name. Harry McKellone, McCellone, McKellone. Please apologise. Harry's ABC Mixing Cocktails, 1922. And it was 1 part Plymouth Gin, which is what I'm drinking tonight. So again, old venerable brand, 1922, so what many brands out there? 1 ounce dry vermouth and 1 ounce sweet vermouth. Right? So it is simply just chilled for 30 seconds and straight into a chilled cocktail glass. So it's basically, there's no garnish. It's just equal parts of gin, Plymouth Gin, which I love, as you know, dry vermouth and sweet vermouth. So-called medium martini. Voila. And a little comment on, hi guys, thanks for tuning in for James Martini Whisperer. The bar is open. I hope you've got your aircon on or fan or whatever going on right now. It's very hot here, and I've got everything freezing in the freezer. Keep it nice and cold. So this is another fabulous book. Lower Edmonds, he was another gentleman who was part of that online chat, and I've got another book down here somewhere. Here we go. Which I got in an op shop a zillion years ago. Barnaby Conrad III, Martini, my first Martini book ever. And I thought he'd been long gone too, because I bought this book 20 years ago. And the 3 of them were Robert, Barnaby, and this fine gentleman, Lowell. together in the same room talking martinis. Amazing. Amazing. So this is a great book, Martini Straight Up, the classic American cocktail. It's also called the Silver Bullet Straight Up. It's pretty hard to get. I got a special order. But in one bit, he's talking about... he has very provocative chapter covers. One is the Martini is civilized, the Martini is uncivilized. The Martini unites, the Martini separates. So it's that kind of deal, right? So it's a very thoughtful book. Anyways, so yes, he's got the pictures of the various styles of Martini glasses here. And they're from the 1870s and the 1930s. So much talk was about the Martini glass appearing in the World Expo at some point as a classic cocktail glass. And he's suggesting that the earliest glass that was named a Martini glass was 1907. Slightly bold, and they're a bit smaller. So this is a Nick and Nora. I'm sure you're familiar with those. So we're talking like the classic kind of coupe shape. Right, so he's saying figure 5, which is that one, which is basically a champagne glass of sorts, but apparently the first reference as a dedicated Martini glass, 1907. There you go.